Always the one thing that interested me about video games are the large amount of glitches you can find within them, with the Super Mario Bros. Series being no exception to this, as there's so many truly amazing and terrible ones that you can encounter during your adventure. Now, some of these can actually be used to your benefit to help you complete the game or certain tasks within it, leading me to want to create today's video about the most useful glitches in every single Mario game. Here I'll explain exactly what you need to do to have these occur, as well as what they can do to better your gameplay. And oh yeah, before we get started, my name is Copycat, and if you haven't yet, then please subscribe to my channel, hitting that bell to stay notified when I upload new videos. The very first game to be released in the franchise is Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo Entertainment System, where there's one really important glitch for speedrunners in the flagpole clip, as it allows you to shave several milliseconds off your time. This is done by jumping from the staircase down towards the block at the bottom of the flagpole, then needing to jump again at the exact angle towards it where you'll clip right through. For some reason this will end the level, but you don't have to go through the animation of watching the flag lower. Instead, just giving you a score where this small amount of time saved could be the difference between a world record run or not. Now, just a warning, this is not an easy thing to do at all, and even a seasoned Mario player like myself can barely pull it off, so be prepared for a lot of practice and a lot of rewinding on the Switch to try again. The next game to be released in Western markets is Super Mario Bros. 2. That's actually a reskin of a Japanese title called Yumi Kojo Doki Doki Panic, only being swapped out as the true sequel was deemed too hard and not different enough when compared to the original. Here, there's one glitch I want to look at, which is the one that allows you to climb much faster than usual. To perform this, while going up a vine or a ladder, all you have to do is hold up and down at the same time on the controller, which will send you skyrocketing upwards. But just note, this only works properly with an emulator where you can set it so you can have up and down be pressed at the same time. On the regular console version, I was never able to pull this off at all. But if you are somehow able to do it yourself, then please let me know in the comments, as that would be groundbreaking. The final of the Super Mario Bros. NES trilogy was released in North America in 1990, where there's one glitch you can pull off during the final Bowser fight, where the King Koopa won't be able to breathe any fire at you. To do this, you have to equip yourself with a P-Wing, and take the path with the spinning Roto Disc and Thwomp, eventually leading to the boss fight room. Immediately when you enter it, you have to fly upwards and to the left, over the wall, and land on the specific platform. Then, flying back up and over the wall again, which should leave Bowser in a glitch state. Here, he won't be able to breathe fireballs at you during the battle. And this being paired with a crouching glitch, where in doing this you won't take any damage from his stomps, you'll be able to complete this boss fight way easier. Next, I want to look at a glitch from the true Japanese sequel to the original first entry, re-released eventually in North America under the name of The Lost Levels, where here you can trick the game into giving you way more score than usual. This only occurs within the castle stages, where to do this, you need to touch the axe as soon as the timer hits 0, which for some reason isn't recognized as a proper input, and instead loops back around into thinking that it's the max time, 999 seconds. This will give you a whopping 50,000 points, which is great if you're going for a high score run, although in all honesty, who's keeping track of score, but it's still useful, I guess. The very first handheld game to be released in the series is Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, where during the Hoi Hoi boss battle of World 3, there's a way to gain an infinite amount of coins from it. To do this, you have to stand as far left on the specific platform as you can, so that when the boss throws the Ganshin at you, which are the rocks, you need to perfectly time your jump, so instead of getting hit by the rock, you'll collect a coin instead. I'm not exactly sure why this is a thing that works in any way, shape, or form, but as you can see, it's not easy to do, and you'll probably die in the process. Next to be released is Super Mario World for the SNES that came out in 1991, having one helpful glitch that's somewhat easy to pull off that I want to mention, in the one that allows you to explore pretty much any stage for an infinite amount of time. Needing to have Yoshi be powered up with a Feather and Cape Mario form, as well as have a Fire Flower stored in your inventory. Next, you need to have the fire flower fall down to the stage, and have Yoshi eat it as soon as the timer reaches 0, which for some reason will cause the level to go into a glitch state, where you can move around with no time left. I know this isn't crazy useful, but if you want a bit more of time to explore and find everything, there is at least something you can do. The second handheld game in the franchise was the sequel to Super Mario Land that also came out for the Game Boy, but here in 1992. Having two very interesting glitches I want to look at, starting with being able to use a bubble pretty much in any level you want. To do this, you need to return to an already completed Hippo stage, then jump towards the bubble and pause the game on the exact same frame that you touch it. Next, press select and go to any other level you'd like, where you know you did it right if you see a glitched out collection of pixels appear, which when entered, then act the exact same as a normal bubble that you then can use to your will. This is definitely weird looking, but can be a cool thing to use to explore higher up on the screen than usual. The other I want to look at from this game is a very dumb way in which you'll never lose lives. That is, in levels you've already played. All you have to do is press start as soon as you take any damage at all that would cause Mario to die. Where in that pause state, you actually can just press select to exit that level and it won't register that you've lost a life. Again, these games are very rudimentary and are full of crazy glitches, and I'd love to know what your favorites are in the comments below. Up next is the first game based within the 3D realm in Super Mario 64 for the N64. Having 3 glitches that are actually pretty handy in helping you complete your journey, starting with the strange way in which you can climb really steep slopes. The best way to describe how to do this is by putting your control stick forward towards the way you want to walk, then quickly let go of it so that it's in neutral position, rhythmically repeating this process until you see that you're actually climbing upwards. You of course can only do this up surfaces you can initially step on, as you need to clip slightly through the wall to make this work. I feel like in certain speedrun situations or in task speedruns this could be useful, but otherwise I feel like it's just too hard to perfect to use during normal playthroughs. The second is a way to negate taking any damage at all on dangerous surfaces, done by initially performing a sweep kick and bouncing on a hazard. For some reason, the very first bounce will not cause Mario to take any damage, which I get is only useful in very specific situations, so it's not very likely you'll be using this move over and over. Finally, I just want to mention a glitched way that you can get to the castle's roof early and find the secret Yoshi Easter egg way before intended, needing to pull off some amazing platforming to do so. This is by initially triple jumping, then perfectly wall jumping so you grab the ledge of the roof and pull yourself upwards, completely getting rid of your need for the cannon. Now, this is no easy feat at all, and even doing this myself took quite a while, maybe even longer than I want to admit. The next to be released on the timeline is Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube, which has 2 shortcut glitches I want to mention that will save you a lot of pain, starting with the one that allows you to get to the Beach's Cannon secret sub-area in Pinna Park without needing to defeat the Monty Mole. This is done by hovering towards this foe while it's attacking, and entering the cannon's hatch as soon as it descends, allowing you to access his secret way earlier without completing the usual crucial step. The second is being able to collect the Shine Sprite prize of Gelato Beach's Watermelon Festival. Although, this one's a bit hard, so bear with me here. First, you have to grab the coconut and bring it to the roof of this hut, dropping it right on the slant on the roof. Next, quickly run into the fruit, and you should always start sliding down the roof, where if you did it right, you'll clip right through. Finally, use your FLUDD's hover nozzle to head towards the case containing your prize, where you'll collect it, and completely avoid needing to roll the watermelon down the hill. Nintendo will return the franchise to its 2D roots with the release of New Super Mario Bros. For the DS, where I'm going to talk about a glitch I've mentioned a few times in past videos, but it is really useful in the way you can store the Mega Mushroom, which literally can be done right away in World 1-1. The only way to do this, other than I guess getting them from Orange Toad houses, is by collecting the power-up on the exact same frame that Mario's head hits the blocks, where for some reason, this tricks the game into thinking that it needs to be stored. This then can be used in basically any level that you want, helping you immensely in very tough situations. Similarly, the space-based Super Mario Galaxy also contains a glitch I've talked about recently, which is the slope climbing method that allows you to get to places you aren't necessarily supposed to. To do this, you have to face away from the slope you want to traverse upwards, jump, then spin and hold back on the control stick, repeating the process until you somewhat slowly get to where you want to go. After a lot of practice, this can even include out-of-bounds areas, letting you explore some crazy spots you didn't even know existed. The second installment of the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series came out in Western markets in 2009, containing one coin-based glitch that will allow you to get a lot of them within the World 4 castle. To do this, you need to be powered up with an ice flower or a penguin suit, and make your way to the section that contains the Koopas climbing on the fences, standing just before the one that's on the flip panel. Next, grab onto the fence, and when the Koopa comes around, jump and hit it with an ice ball to freeze it, while in the same moment grabbing back onto the fence, then trying to spin the panel as fast as you can. If you did it correctly, then the game will begin to lag, and a plethora of coins will begin to spew out from the Koopa, where you then can collect them to gain tons of lives. Again, your game does slow down, which is a bad thing, but it never crashes, so you can at least still complete the stage. Next is a sequel to the space-based entry that also came out for the Wii, but this time in 2010. Having one glitch that can be very beneficial and help you complete the game much faster, which are the methods that allow you to long jump way farther than usual. This is done in one of two ways, where with the first you need the cloud power-up, where creating one of the fluffy things, then long jumping, will for some reason launch Mario way forward. You aren't gaining a crazy amount of ground, but enough definitely to be mentioned here in this video. The second can occur in any level that flipping platforms show up in, where if you fall into an open slot while shaking the Wiimote, then get hit by one of the platforms, and long jump literally immediately, Mario will go flying through the air, letting you skip a large portion of things. Unfortunately, you can only do these maneuvers in specific places, but for hardcore speedrunners, this is probably a must to know. Nintendo would perfectly blend aspects of the 2D and 3D realms with the release of Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS, where here there's a method to run much faster than normal, which is actually super easy to pull off. All you have to do is perform a rolling long jump, and when you land it, let go of the run button completely, where for some reason you'll start to move even faster than normal. I'm not sure exactly what makes this occur, but just enjoy this janky footage of it happening. I swear one day I'll get a capture card for this system, it's just too expensive right now. The third installment of the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series is for some reason given the moniker of the second, but anyways. Being released for the 3DS in 2012, where the only glitch from it that can be seen as somewhat useful is the one I've looked at in my Secret Moves video in the faster way of flying. This is super easy to do, as you just have to mash both the jump and dash buttons as soon as you're about to take off in flight, where you'll see it's actually a much faster than normal method of flying. Nothing too crazy at all, as it's more of an exploit than anything else, and doesn't change too much of your playthrough. Next is the extraordinarily fun Super Mario 3D World that first came out on the Wii U, then was later re-released for the Switch, having one glitch that can somewhat help you during your playthrough, and an error that occurs sometimes that causes enemies to become inactive. This happens because you need to trigger these enemies by passing very specific points in the stage, where if for some reason you happen to bypass those triggers, then enemies will just appear motionless. Of course, you really need to go out of your way to make this happen, and it only can happen in a few levels, so it's not even that practical. Next is the absolutely massive Super Mario Odyssey Nintendo Switch entry, where really the only useful glitches that still actually work are some of the ones that allow you to find out-of-bounds balloons in the Luigi Balloon World game mode. Now, showing these are a bit of a double-edged sword, as it also reveals how to perform these glitches to hide them, so I'll just direct you to some of my past videos that I'll link in the comments, as in several of them, I go over exactly how to do some of these, although I do admit it sort of ruins the game for normal players. Next to be released is the Bowser's Fury game mode that was put out alongside the re-release of Super Mario 3D World for the Switch. where there's a glitch involving the propeller box that allows you to get much higher than usual. This is done by using and controlling Bowser Jr., bonking off his head to spin upwards 2 more times than usual. For some reason, when you bonk off him, it resets this move, letting you platform just way more smoothly in this already tough platforming environment. As of right now, in the new Super Mario Bros. Wonder game, I can't even name a more useful glitch than the Infinite Lives exploit in the Scram Skedaddler stage, which really is the easiest way to gain the maximum amount of lives. This is done in one of 2 ways, where the first involves needing to take the Koopa shell, place it between these 2 warp pipes, and then move one of them closer up to the other. From here, you can slide between the 2 and bonk off the shell, while going back to sliding, repeating the process until you start to gain lives. The second is done by guiding the Skedaddler to this part of the stage, and having it use its projectiles to clear the peanut boxes. Next, in tandem with the parachute badge, you need to bonk off the acorn projectiles, while also wall sliding, which, for some reason, doesn't reset the combo and lets you gain the lives. As you noticed, I didn't mention any other Infinite Lives exploits, as I've already made a separate video about those, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder is so new that I just wanted to quickly go over them to let you guys know. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, please leave a like, comment below what you thought about it, and of course subscribe to my channel. Also, please go follow my Instagram at Copycat Gamer. There I upload some cool clips and items for my collection that you won't see anywhere else. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!